Okay, let's get this started. Hi guys, my name is Rebecca Smith. I'm a PhD student here in DCU. I'm currently looking into persistent mobile and toxic chemicals in fresh water around Ireland. So thank you so much everyone for coming on Zoom, in person, and if they're hearing this recording now. Your help is worth so much to me. It means so much. I really do appreciate it. So I'll explain what a water blitz is, what we're looking for, what we're asking you to do, and then what we'll do with the samples when they're sent back. So let's start. Okay, so what is the purpose of this water blitz? We are looking into persistent, mobile, and toxic chemicals, as well as very persistent, very mobile, and toxic chemicals, and PFAS chemicals as well, as these have been highlighted as a cause of concern in our waterways by the European Union with new CLP regulations, which is pretty much how they package the chemicals, and as well as the marketed mixtures and other chemicals under REACH, which is guidelines published by the EU. These chemicals have hazardous effects. They're persistent, they stay in the water a long time, they're mobile, they're able to travel through the environment, and they're toxic. They have negative effects on human health and environmental health, which is a major cause of concern. So the aim of this project is to look into further investigation into the sources and the pathways these chemicals take once they enter the environment. So what are these chemicals? So we're looking at PMTs, BP, VMs, and PFAS chemicals. So persistent mobile toxic chemicals. So for a chemical to be defined as persistent, it needs to be able to exist in the environment for 40 days. For it to be mobile, it needs to have a KOC value, which is pretty much how well it sticks to the water. So it'll have a low KOC of under 4. And toxic, it needs to be defined as toxic in the regulations. And then we have PFAs, which is a subcategories of PMTs, which are the big buzz chemicals at the moment. So these are per and perfluoroalkyl substances. They're man-made. They have a really good persistent in the environment. These are really common chemicals. They're found in personal care products. They're found in pharmaceuticals. They're found pretty much in clothing, everything. They're found everywhere. So what are the sources? In Ireland, our two largest industries are pharmaceutical and agricultural. So we are suspecting that these are going to be our highest polluters of these chemicals. So they can enter through runoff, which is a diffuse source. They can enter through direct leaking from our water pipes, and they can elute back into the environment. And that's the biggest concern, is they're able to re-enter the waterways, re-enter the environment through our wastewater treatment plants, which are supposed to be removing these chemicals, but they're just not advanced enough. So here's a bit more of the pathways. As you can see, they enter the environment through our industry. They're in our freshwater our freshwater bodies. They can enter wastewater treatments. They can enter drinking water, which is a huge concern for us because we want to have as clean water as possible. Ireland is so dependent on our groundwater, our surface water. So we really, really need to keep this safe. It's in our medications. Some of these chemicals are medications. So betamol is one of the chemicals we'll be looking at, which is asthma relief medication. So we can also excrete these chemicals into our wastewater, which is sent for treatment. It's being recycled. It's not good. It can be directly input into the environment in our drinking wells. Major, major concern. So what I need you guys to do is sample for me, which is the biggest importance of this project. This is the major, major crux of this product. So what will be in the sampling kits we send out? So we'll have our sample bottle, which I also have here. These are our little kits that we will have sending out to you. So in our kits, we have 3 bottles, which will be clearly labeled for you guys. We have our water SOP, and we'll also have a return label for you guys. This will be free of charge. All you have to do is send it back to us through your post office. So we have our sample bottle and our blank bottles. So a big issue with our sampling method is that these chemicals can be found in sun cream, in medicine, in food packaging. So we need to have a blank, which is pretty much tells us what is in the surrounding atmosphere around you, what's not in the water, what could be causing contamination in these samples. So the first step, we'll take out our bottles. We'll identify them. We have gloves provided, so there'll be no need to have anything else added. And we'll ask you to fill out our survey, which is it'll be on the SOP link, which pretty much will ask you where you're sampling, the time you're sampling, is there any contamination that you can see, like point sources, is there rubbish, is there agricultural fields surrounding, and that will all you need to do for that. And then we'll ask you to take our blanks. So from blank 1, which will be labeled WBS, your specific sample number, and then B1, which will be blank 1. This will be filled with deionized water. So this will catch any of the chemicals that may be coming off your skin, off your clothes. And we ask you to just pour very easily into blank 2, which is WBS, your sample number, B2. This, again, will consider taking your background contamination, and then we can just put it back in the bag, and that's it, simple enough. To take our sample collection, again, gloves should be worn throughout. What we'll need you to do, take out your blank. We will provide you rope and a Ziploc if it is not safe to get as close to the water, so it'll let you take the water from a distance, or you can just directly sample in the hands. Either is fine. We ask you to rinse your sample bottle 3 times. So this will prime the bottle, get it ready for sampling. And then finally, once you empty out the 3rd prime samples, you can collect your sample. So what we ask for when you're sampling is to sample in front of you. If you're sampling from a river, let be downstream of your samples. So again, we're trying to avoid as much contamination as possible, that the samples are coming from ahead of you. If this isn't possible 100%, that's no worries. But just to try, if you can. So once you have your samples, they can be packaged back into the original box we send you with our prepaid label. Just stick that on the front and return. It's as simple as that. Return to your local post office, and that should be it. Okay, then your work is complete for this project, and we will thank you so much for it. And then what happens to the samples when they get sent back to us? Well, first of all, we need to clean them up. We'll divide them into 100 ml portions, and we'll put them through what is called an SPE cartridge. So that will separate the solids from the water. It'll just concentrate and clean the water. And then this will be able to go to LCMS, liquid chromatography mass spectrometry analysis. So that's an image of our machine there. So this will analyze. So what it does is it separates the chemicals from the water. So that's the liquid chromatography part. And then the mass spec will detect and measure them based on their masses, based on the chemical masses. And then that will be it. We'll have our samples, we'll send out our results, and any questions?
Can I take the sample from, is it from the tap, or could you take it just from the river now itself?
We're not asking for tap water. We're hoping to run another project with tap water at the later stage, but just any freshwater body, ponds, lakes, rivers, stream, anything you can get your hands on would be perfect. Yeah.
Do you have to give a location for where you take the sample?
Yes, so what we'll do is we'll send you a link with our survey. So the survey will just automatically, once you click into the survey, it automatically takes a little snapshot of your location, and that will pair it with your sample bottle. Sorry.
I asked about this in email already, but I have 3 water bodies.
Yeah.
Does that mean I need 9 bottles?
Yes.
And can I arrange that with you?
Yes, of course.
Blank 1 and blank 2 again. Yeah, so actually I'll just do it very quickly for you. So open them up.
So actually, I'll just do it very quickly for you. So open them up. So this is the sample bottle. 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 So this is the sam take them out. So for this, you'll need to be wearing gloves because again, there could be anything on your hand or anything like that. So blank one, they should be easily labeled. If these gloves want to go on. It's always the way. Ready hands. Okay.
When you're doing that, will we be able to get the results for our water bodies from you after or not?
Yeah, that should be no problem. Just contact me directly if that's okay. So we have blank one. Sorry. We have blank one and blank two clearly labeled. So literally, it's so simple. All you need to do is take off the caps of the two bottles and pour from blank one into blank two. So this will take in any kind of atmospheric contamination. If you have any perfumes or anything on, that can be a source of contamination in your samples and cause negative results. And then all you need to do after you do that, screw the caps on and back into your Ziploc. Oh, excuse me. Back into the Ziploc bags.
Okay, so it's got nothing to do with the sample as such.
No. So this is a separate process just to get a background of what's in the area that isn't in the water itself.
Yep. When will they have to be in by? Is there a date in mind?
So the sampling event will be the weekend of the 30th to the 1st. And just send it back as soon as possible, just in the post office. But there's no particular last date to send it. We'll be getting them in as soon as possible, if that's okay.
Obviously, it's too early now to know what the weather will be like that weekend, but like, do you care whether there's been heavy rain or light rain, or will you record that in the survey?
Yeah, it'll be recorded in the survey. So it can depend. If there's heavy rain, it can make the chemicals in the water less concentrated. But if we know, like if you're saying there's a heavy downpour half an hour before, we'll be able to say, okay, that could be causing skew in the results.
Should we, like we're having a lot of it at the moment,
yeah.
Mixed weather, you have dry spells,
yeah.
shower. Should we be trying to take the sample during a dry-ish period?
More for yourselves, as in, we don't want you guys to get soaked. It's, it's a voluntary thing. We understand that, no one wants to be out in the wet, but it shouldn't make a huge difference because the weather should be kind of fairly sustainable over the 3 days. So again, we won't ask you if any sort of weather warnings come out or anything like that. We'll pull the project and do another weekend.
So we'd be expected to be sending back the results in the same box that's delivered to us?
Yeah, so just pack everything back into the box. We have a prepaid label already in the box for you, so just stick that on to our return address.
Chat notification if anyone in
oh, thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Hi, hello. Thank you very much for that. That was a great introduction and so fast as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're trying our best to follow online, but we're not following everything. So when you're interacting with people in the room, is it possible that you could repeat what they're asking so that we can hear and we can follow as well? We're kind of hearing an answer without knowing what the question is.
Sorry.
And then. No problem. It's normal. I do it myself also. And then, as well as that, we've input some questions in the text chat. If you're able to come to them at the end, and I also have lots more questions for you. But thank you. It's really exciting so far, and we'll. I think we can interact a bit more or join a bit more online if you're able to kind of. Summarize questions and we hear the questions and the answers. Thanks.
Perfect. So what I'll do is I will check the chat now. So yeah, we do have enough locations and volunteers. So thank you very much. We don't need any more signups, but again, we'll be probably looking to run other blitzes. So of course, we'll be looking for that. Yeah, we'll be able to see the lab testing online. We'll share results as soon as possible, and we'll probably share how we do it. We'll get a little video sample of how we do the analysis in the lab, if that's of interest.
I think that'll be very interesting for me and other people.
Yeah. So we'll get that 100%. We can get a video recording of that. Let's see. So at the moment we have 150 signups, which is huge.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then again, I'll repeat the blank bottles. I have a video to send out anyways of that, the whole sampling process. So I'll send that out as soon as possible to everyone. If that's okay. Yeah. So the multiple sampling kits, if you contact me directly, I can try and get that arranged if possible, if that's okay.
Just, if we're taking examples from the river or stream, did you say we should be downstream?
Yeah.
Capture water.
Yeah. So before it touches you or anything like that. Again, it's all in the SOP, which will be provided. And again, if there's any issues, I'm always on my emails to be contacted. So, and yes, you can sample wherever you want, as long as it's a fresh water body.
This is maybe number?
No, it's nationally.
Oh, okay.
It's coming to get one next weekend. If you're to Algebra on the Thursday, could you do it on the Thursday?
Yeah.
You're not restricted to.
Yeah.
The weekend.
Yeah, the weekend's mainly just for it's when the least amount of people are working. So if you have the sample and it suits you a little bit better to do either the Thursday or maybe the Monday, that should be no problem. Either just, it should be recorded in the app and that should be no problem. Sorry, that was just could you do the sample on the Thursday or the Monday? That should be no problem. The only reason we're doing the weekend is because that's when the least amount of people are in work. I will check with Susan Hegarty. I'm not with the nitrogen and phosphorus Water Blitz, but I'll get in contact and I can get that answer for you, if that's okay.
Oh, no problem. And I think lots of volunteers have experience from doing that one previously, or for doing other similar water blitzes previously. So I think when you say water blitz, you mean this one. And when we say water blitz, it's one of quite a few different water blitzes.
Yeah. No, this is my baby. So this is my water blitz. But again, there'll be more water blitzes.
This is the real one. This is the only PERMOTOX one.
Yes, it's the first PERMOTOX water blitz. So
it's historic in some way. I'd be interested to know a little bit more. What might you find, or have you any expectation what you might find?
It can really just depend on the land use area. It can, areas of high agriculture, we're expecting to see a lot of herbicides and pesticides. Beside hospitals, there actually could be some pharmaceuticals found. So it can really just depend. Again, like you can find PFAS coming in from football pitches, Astros. So
right.
It can be such a mixed bag. So we're really hoping to find some really interesting results.
Wow, that sounds exciting. And it's the first time it's done. There isn't even an EPA map of it, is there?
No. This is really a new kind of topic of interest.
You can teach the EPA a little. And get them copying you.
Yeah.
If it's okay, just one more question, then I'll stop. In some of the other water blitzes, like the Dublin Urban Citizens that your colleague Laura is doing, it was really good. One really good thing was it was mapped, so we could see it. Do you think you'll be able to do that in your project as well?
We're going to use the same
Brilliant.
Survey 123 software, so it should be easily mapped, and hopefully we'll be able to replicate something like that as well.
I think it's historic. What you're doing is historic. It's both Laura's project. If anyone doesn't know it, I put the link in the text chat. it's a different type of mass testing, and it's not PFAS or Permotox. It's more everyday stuff.
Yeah.
But both projects, and this one being the first Permotox, this is history. It's good to be part of this. I think if it works well, many people will follow.
Yeah, brilliant. It's great to have the Water Blitz going. No. Yes.
I'm just going to ask about that thing as well. So, like, rather than, like, I'm sure everyone who participates will want to know
Yeah.
water body.
Yeah.
So rather than all of us 138 emailing you.
Yeah. 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 So just to repeat that, we were just saying how great it would be to have the rather than 138 or 150 looking individually for the results, that we'll have the maps available online as soon as possible. As soon as we get all the results ready to go, we will get that out to you guys for your own interest. So if that's everything, thank you very much to everyone who attended in person, online, and anyone who is watching this back afterwards. If there's any interest, I can probably send that link from Keith on in the emails again when I'm sending on the videos of how to sample again. But thank you very much for attending. Again, you are our bread and butter. We really do appreciate all the work you're putting in here. And thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
It's 150.
Yeah.
Is that sufficient though for the?
Yeah.
Is it countrywide?
Yeah. So it's good.
Try and hit every catchment in the country.
Yeah, we're trying. So
Got most of them,
yeah, most of them. We're struggling a little bit in some of the not odd counties, but the likes of Roscommon and stuff like that, But
right,
we'll get them eventually.
very good.
Thank you very much.
Can we get 2 lots? Is that possible?
Yes, if you're able to email me, I'll be able to know who to send it to, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I emailed it, so.
And have these gone out already?
No, they're going out in the next day. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you. Hi Phil, everything is done at location, if that's okay. Thank you very much.